Okay, I want to just continue with what I was talking about in a previous video, kind of regarding what things made me, I guess, less. Oh, let me just fix this. What kind of things I thought about before I transitioned that kind of worried me, that are more superficial things. So not the big things like worrying about being cut off from family members or anything like that. That's kind of a different video. One thing that worried me quite a lot, and still worries me, I suppose, but to a lesser extent, is dating and how I need to navigate the world as a different kind of sexuality almost. Because when you grow up into your sexuality, you know, as one gender, and you are inherently kind of feeling like inside you're already the opposite gender or a different gender, your whole sense of sexuality gets quite confused. Because although sexuality and gender are separate, when you're growing up trans or gender non-conforming, your sexuality plays a big part in that sometimes because of the way in which sexuality is so gendered. Just the way in which men and women date each other or are expected to date each other. There are very clear boundaries as to how people are supposed to date, and you know, I'm someone who is attracted to women, and so that makes things easier and harder when it comes to being trans. When I realized I liked women when I was a teenager, in a way it made things easier for me to kind of express my gender identity more when I was with a female partner. And I think a big reason why I wanted to be with a female partner is so that I could play out kind of my like fantasies of being male or masculine. You know, despite the fact that I was attracted to some men, being with them felt very odd, and there was like this disconnect. I'd find like a guy attractive and I'd want to, you know, maybe pursue something with him. But as soon as it got to the point of, you know, anything emotional or like not just physical, but kind of all the stuff around being physical, like I never felt comfortable cuddling with a man who was romantically into me. Immediately the gender roles thing just got in the way. Like I just felt like, oh, I'm a girl with a boy now. Whereas when I was with a girl, there was more room for me to feel like I could be myself. But my point is, now that I'm transitioning into a man who will be a mostly straight man, that means that I'll have to navigate the world dating women again. And that's gonna be weird because I don't know if I'll be able to date straight women, really. I might be able to, but I feel like I really desire that kind of link of queerness in a relationship, just because being queer has been such a huge part of my dating history that I don't know how to date someone who isn't even a little bit queer. But there's like a kind of sense of belonging in the queer community that I think I desire in a partner as well. And so, you know, if I do end up passing as male 100% and then attract someone who is straight woman, I don't really know what I do. I don't know kind of how attracted to them I would be. So I don't know, that'll be interesting. But I'm certainly not looking forward to, well, I think a big part of it is that I don't want to be with someone who expects certain gender roles in dating. And I think straight people expect it because they're straight. And that's kind of just how they've been brought up. And, you know, I kind of have seen a couple YouTube videos by guys, the trans guys, who express some discomfort in the way that dating changes when you start to pass and you start to date straight women. You know, there are kind of certain rules in place with straight couples that aren't there in, you know, lesbian relationships, I guess. Stuff like who pays on the first date, and when do you start having sex, like how many dates. That stuff for me, like, never, in the previous relationships that I've had, that kind of stuff never mattered at all, because it was two women. And I think when you're in a relationship that already kind of breaks down the norms because it's a gay relationship, then everything else kind of is meaningless when it comes to those kind of rules. And I really like that. I think the rules for dating in some circles, you know, like the paying stuff, I think it's so stupid and old-fashioned. So that's something that I have yet to explore. One thing that really bothers me is the fact that I'm gonna look so young for so long. Obviously, I don't really pass that much right now, as I'm only 4.5 months on T, but so I don't really know how people see me, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of like up in the air a bit. People see me as like a really young boy if they just see me as like a lesbian. I think, but the times that they do see me as a guy, I assume they must think that I'm a teenager, like a young teenager. You know, I'm only 5'3", and right now my face is really chubby because there's a lot of water retention going on because of the tea, which is really annoying, and I hope that goes down soon. And you know, I kind of dress like in like baggy clothes and stuff because not much really fits my chest, and that probably makes me look younger as well. And I'm fine with it in myself. I don't really care how I look, if I look young, like, in myself. But it does bother me to look young if I'm like, you know, just from a societal point of view. I think it's really annoying because I feel like I get less respect from people. People don't expect much from me when they meet me because they think that I'm really young. Even just little things like, you know, buying alcohol, even if I have my ID. I mean, I always have my ID on me. But sometimes people like challenge me on it as if it's not my ID, you know, that's really annoying. And the fact that people see me as like a young boy as well, they probably think that I'm like, I don't know, up to no good maybe. I think if people see a younger girl, they're kind of a bit nicer to them. But yeah, that's something that really bothers me. And I don't know what I'm gonna look like in a year. I don't really know how testosterone is gonna change my face. I know it will make me look older because T ages you. It does. So that's good, but I don't really know. Like, I can't imagine myself a year from now just because I don't know what T is gonna do to my face. I don't know, like, if my chubbiness will have gone down or it will have converted to something more chiseled. I hope so. Um, but yeah, it's something that I do think about a lot, and I don't really like going out. Like, it makes me more shy, I think. Part of the reason I'm quite shy is because I feel like people don't see me for the age that I am, and that really bothers me. Yeah, that's it for dating and looking young. I think I'm gonna wait to do the other two because this video is already really long.